So really, people who have studied blue matrix energetics, and you see how much in depth there is about the brain, nervous system, consciousness, and then people say, well, what about the government? Do they know this? Because what kind of leaders do we have if they don't know this? I mean, how can they make decisions for the ETs if they don't understand how the brain and nervous system works and potentially what it could do? Well, they have the information, some of them, and that's all I can really say as to who's studying what. Nobody really knows completely, and the public knows more than they do if they have not studied, is all I can say. And it is important because the people who fly on the spacecraft have fully awakened brains. They're ascended masters. The Andromedans, hundreds of thousands of years old. So you cannot relate to them at all, except for what's in it for me? What do I get? You know, they should ask, well, what is the best course of action for society with your boat in regards to also their well being and balanced with economic prosperity. And it's so much easier, right, to say, oh, they don't exist, ETs, and then to say, I'm a Christian. So then you can have people dragged to church to continue to give to charities what people need, right? And then they go to church and they pray to God, and the ETs show up. Lo and behold, it's Andromedans, God outside of them, answering. So it's all really hush hush. However, you're put on porno duty for sales because you're not really supposed to have higher consciousness mind except for a small part of the population. So what I said to the politicians is, don't go for that model or people will hate you, because there's so much work coming that has awakened humanity where they're not used for labor with a centralized model of. This is why they don't allow governments to run all the spaceships. It's very tempting to take power over humanity. They're irresponsible. The ones that have studied Blue Matrix don't want to do it. They want everyone to have equal power. If there are people in society who have studied and have higher consciousness mind and are not government and are equally as important, you see. And they're fairly new to study, so they're just learning. So what am I telling you? Study Blue Matrix Energetics, whether you're a corporate head, a government leader, or a community person. Then you'll understand what your consciousness is. Otherwise, it's an old model of I'm Christian or I'm Muslim or whatever it is. And the ships are getting tired of showing up at the mosques and the churches. Okay? Uh, some of them were basically given the finger and they wouldn't go. So they don't want to have another generation worshiping in the temples, because that has been sort of the pattern for a few thousand years so far after the great Egyptian dynasties fell. So they're concerned about it, and it is not popular to say anything against what I'm saying.